Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the meeting of the Board of Commissioners. Remind everybody that this is a public meeting, and if you do come to the lectern to tell us who you are and where you live. This meeting is being recorded both via audio and visual as well. Awards, recognitions, and correspondence. Anybody have anything today?
Continue to get letters of thank you for the livestock sale.
Okay.
No, other than we'll continue to get letters of thank you for the livestock sale.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. Acknowledgement of the minutes, previous meeting of September 2nd, 2020.
Second.
I'm moving down the minutes. John, can we go back to
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I just want to point out publicly the content.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go back to correspondence.
And certainly to the Forest Service, thanking them for their decision. They sent some of their specialized individuals, and they sent Eric over to the west side to help. But they made a conscious decision to keep their ground crews and their engines and other apparatus and people that they use to fight fires locally because of the potential danger here. And I thank them for the wisdom of that decision, because as we've seen in the last few days, that was a very good choice on their part. And so I think we ought to acknowledge the Forest Service for doing that to protect our county. I think we ought to acknowledge the Forest Service for protect our county.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, speaking of Forest Service, I was going to bring this up at the end, but I'll bring it up now since it's on topic. I spoke with Darcy Wiesman yesterday, their public information officer. Sorry, I said yesterday. I meant this morning. Yesterday, they had improved weather. They were able to get fire lines all around the fire. They have improved mapping. Now they know that the fire is only 30 to 35 acres in size. And today they're going to be securing those containment lines, and they're expecting some rain and wind later today and tomorrow. But one of the big things, and I think Commissioner Murdoch touched on this, was they really got lucky, and one of the Union hotshot crews was on their way to the fires down in Jefferson County area and Lake County, and they were just happened to be driving by the turnoff when the alert came in, so they were able to divert and go to the Ukiah fire, and they really did a job on that. So kudos to the Union hotshots as well. Okay, and we voted on the minutes. Any additions to the agenda? Yep, there will be one, and we'll call that number 9.
Okay. Of the vacation cap for the dispatch, whether that needs to be on today's agenda or whether we don't need to do that. Dispatch, whether that needs to be on today's agenda or whether we don't need to do that. Is Doug there?
Yeah, I don't think we normally do that as a board. I think we can do that outside the meeting.
That's my understanding as well.
An item related to assessment and taxation that I'll speak to when we get to number 9. An item related to assessment and taxation.
Yep, that's number 9. That's the only addition, isn't it? Okay. Public input and recognition of visitors. Okay. And business items, number 1. I see we have Joe Fiamara with us for the position expansion of public health.
Yeah, this is Joe Kumar, Director of Public Health. The position expansion pertains to one of our staff who's been at a 0.6 wanting to expand the her position as a nurse for kind of 2 programs that we're going to be functioning out of. Both are funded. We're doing some additional outreach around vaccine outreach. Right now, flu, but anticipating that transitioning to COVID vaccine outreach and planning, which we've received some funding for the state for. And we're additionally trying to do some capacity building around our maternal child health programs, which we've got a couple of small grants that are funding that work. That work, once complete, hopefully turns into a billable program that nurses can conduct some home visits and have billable visits to fund that program moving forward.
Okay, any questions?
I move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, I would entertain a motion on that.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye? Am I the only one that voted on that? You heard, okay.
Yeah, so
Number 2, public health canopy
this is, 3
purchase.
canopies specifically designed for drive-through operations. We had done an exercise last November doing a drive-through flu clinic. Drive-through testing for COVID has become somewhat mainstream, and as we are hoping for a vaccine to be coming out relatively soon, we're trying to get ourselves in place and prepared for that when it happens. I know there's a lot of targets for trying to get a vaccine out end of the year. If something like that happens, we're likely to have some inclement weather as we're trying to distribute some of this in a quick fashion. Additionally, there's a lot of places trying to ramp up these items. The company we're working with right now has set a couple of these aside for us, which I think we lose at the end of this week if we don't make the purchase, because lots of jurisdictions across the country are trying to build up this capacity right now. So these would allow us to do those types of events in the short term, and moving forward would be utilized for various events for public health activities in the future.
I move for approval.
Second. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Thank you.
Aye. Motion
Yes.
carries. I think this one's yours too,
So
Joe,
we have
public
our
health software purchase.
epidemiologist who will be here on staff as of October 1st. This is one of the software packages we're trying to have in place and ready to go for them. This software helps with a lot of data tabulation and statistical analysis, and we want to have this in place so that they're able to take some of our data and we're able to do some adequate analysis of it with this.
Chairman, I move approval.
Second?
Chairman, I move approval.
Aye.
Thank you.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Number 4, designation of newspaper.
This is coming before the board as part of the annual tax foreclosure process. It should be initiated within the next week or so, and part of that will be a publication in a local newspaper. And as tradition has it, we are recommending that East Oregonian be the newspaper designated to have the publication
Chairman, I move we adopt
of the
order
tax
number
foreclosure list.
2020-04.
Second?
Chairman, I move we adopt order number TX 2020-04. Second.
Aye.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 5, public road dedication.
Okay, back in 1991, I believe it was, the county foreclosed on a piece of property for delinquent property taxes.
1980, right?
Was it 1980? It's a long, yeah,
It says
1980.
80. So,
And it is actually part of Day Road, which, although it says road, it is a private easement. What the proposal is to dedicate that property for public use, and that will take it out of the county's name and put it as part of a public road. And if you want to scroll down, yeah, there's a picture that shows one more. See that little strip? It matches the road exactly. So that's the reason we're dedicating, want to
So
dedicate
does
it
this
as a
will-
public road.
Dedicated as a public road, or? So this will. And is there use of this now currently?
Yes,
I
it
see
will.
It's just off of Walla Walla Road. Is that access to look back in the,
It is
to the
a road
south of
right
that
now.
road? Back in the, to the south of that road? Yes.
Right, can you see the screen, the aerial on the screen?
Yes.
The area in
that
red,
long
that's the
strip.
tax lot. It overrides the road. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the tax lot.
I move approval of the
So it's being
dedication
used as a
of
road
the
right
deed.
now.
Second?
I move approval of the dedication of the deed. Aye.
Aye.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we're on number 6, courthouse elevator controls.
Dale and I with Administrative Services.
Dan and I, yeah,
So
there he is.
before you, there is a cost estimate to replace the controls on our elevator. Currently, we can no longer get parts for our elevator, and the controls anyway, they're so outdated. We had an issue with it earlier, a few months ago. They were able to find another client had an old part in Eastern Oregon that would work on that control system. So if they don't have any in stock because they're not made anymore, and we need to have those replaced at the request of Otis so that if it breaks again, they can actually get parts for it. The elevator would be down for probably a day to replace the controls, so we would need to schedule that in a way that we can work around it, hopefully.
Dan, how many years would this extend the life of that elevator?
Well, it's the controls, so it's a new control system, so that means the controls should be for multiple years ahead that we can get parts for it to replace the controlling part. But I mean, the elevator's still a 1955, 54 elevator, and a lot of the parts it's hard to get, but it would be very expensive to replace the whole system. And some of the things are easier to get than electronics have changed a lot since 1950, more than gears and cables and hydraulics and stuff. Those are easier to get than electronics.
So I guess my question is, does this bring it up to state of the art for the electronics?
It'll bring the electronics up into compliance into what's currently being used. Yeah. Yes. It'll bring the electronics up into compliance.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second?
Chair, I move approval. Aye.
Aye.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And motion, thank you. Motion carries. Okay, number 7, the Adams Community Benefit Plan Grant.
I can if you need it.
Are you doing that one, Doug, or?
I can. Yes, I was part of this. I didn't realize.
Okay,
that they had not
go ahead, Commissioner Elfring.
Gotten this approved back when it was first done, but the committee did meet, golly, last November, and I guess it didn't come out that they had not submitted their request until the grantee asked for the funding, and then it came out they had not put that to us yet. So this is an approval for the Adams Community Benefit Committee or program that receives windmill funding. And I'm trying to even remember who it was for Dave Beatty. It was one application for $40,000 for a new brush truck that was not approved. But there was, excuse me?
No, I think it's for the library.
Yeah, you're recalling the most recent one. That hasn't come before the board yet for approval. This is for the Adams Public Library.
For $1,240. $44.14 for reimbursement of bringing music and entertainment to the community in the summer of 2019. Mr. Chair, I move approval of Order BCC 2020-06.
Second.
Aye.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 8, the collective bargaining agreement ratification. And it looks like Under Sheriff Littlefield's on his way up.
And Captain Primer's on the phone also.
And the sheriff might be on the phone as well. We're not sure.
Hi. And Captain Primer's on the phone also.
Hey, Captain. How are you?
Jim Littlefield, Under Sheriff, Umatilla County. This is to ratify the CBA that it's a 3-year contract ending in 2023. The association voted to approve. I think that about 74% approval on their vote. So this is coming before the board to approve.
Okay.
Question?
We have it attached.
Thank you. Now you want a motion?
Oh, yeah, no, I said I see it's attached. Okay. Yeah, I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the contract? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Retroactive
Aye.
agreement to July the 1st. Is that
Motion
correct?
carries. Thank you very much, everybody.
That's a retroactive agreement to July the 1st.
What was that, Bill?
Retroactive agreement to July the 1st.
Correct. Yeah, so. Okay, item number 9, this is the addition, Commissioner Murdoch, do you want to go ahead and speak to this?
Assessment. He had indicated originally that he wanted to officially retire December 31st. Last Friday, they sold their home. He doesn't want to move twice, so he has asked if he can leave the county on Friday, which I'm his liaison. I said that would be fine. We'd work with that. And in addition, Rachel Reynolds has been deputy assessor. Knowing that Paul was going to retire, we worked to position ourselves for the transition. So I would like to ask the board to join me in formally appointing Rachel as county assessor beginning September 21st. County assessor beginning September 21st. Yeah, that's a motion. Weirdly.
Is that a motion? Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Weirdly stated a motion.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Aye.
Okay, hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. And congratulations to Director Reynolds. All right, thank you for that. Okay, Commissioner reports, Commissioner Murdoch.
Yes, I did meet with the sheriff's office and
Commissioner Elfering.
Captain Primer regarding their need for additional personnel at the dispatch, and they will be moving ahead and hiring personnel into the dispatch. They're short about four positions, one being, I think, coming on board today, one of those 4. So it's going to be quite a period of training that's going to be going on in the dispatch. They're needing additional help and had asked for a waiver on the cap for vacation time. And as we discussed just before this meeting, that doesn't require board action, but it will be. I will be presenting the need and the plan for working those hours back down after the hiring need is passed. So Karen and Jim will be taking care of that outside this meeting. That's all. We'll be taking care of that outside this meeting.
Okay. That's it, okay. I already spoke about mine, the fire, and also, I know Commissioner Elfring, you went to the send-off yesterday, watched the National Guard troops go and assist with the fires throughout the state.
and going to Camp Wailea for about a week of training for fire suppression. After that, they'll be put to work on the fires in Western Oregon to get those under control and to help things return a little bit to normal. Sounds like the fires over there are winding down and coming back to control. Our fire out on Pearson Creek sounds like it's pretty well under control. It's been circled with a fire guard, and they were able to make their way around it with bulldozers yesterday and bring that under control. We've got a pretty full crew up there working. Kept it confined to a pretty small fire. And so far so good. Cross your fingers, you don't get more.
Well, unfortunately, while they have made
All right.
very limited headway on some of the original major fires, they have new ones popping up, including, I believe, Lake County is now, the fire around Paisley is now one of the most dangerous in the state, but I do know that they've had some problem with new fires popping up.
Is that a range fire, George? What? Is that a range fire, Paisley?
Yeah, that one around Paisley is about 31,000 acres.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing updates, and it's listed as now one of the more dangerous, and I think there might be one in Klamath County. But I also know that we have indicated that we would make staff available if necessary to assist our other counties. As you know, Sheriff Rowan is president of the Sheriff's Association, so he's plugged in quite regularly to that. And so in terms of public works, law enforcement and so forth, I don't know if anybody's been called yet, but we certainly have advertised our availability to assist.
Yeah, the system that they're using for law enforcement is, as the sheriff described it, a domino type of approach. As they need additional help, those who are available closest to them move in and help out, and then those who are closest to those who move in to help back up those who left. So it's kind of a series of backups is the way they're doing that and the way they've got it planned. And so far we haven't been called upon. Is the way they're doing that, the way they've got it planned. So far we haven't been called upon.
Okay, well, hopefully they'll be able to do it without needing our assistance. So with that.